Guys, you know in the summer, it rains almost every day here in the Sunshine State, and you need to be held responsible for the water that hits off your roof. That's why you need gutters, leaf coverings, and drainage through Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. Family owned and operated, based out of Bryceville, Florida, Josh Wirtz will install your gutters with great quality at a reasonable price. Contact him today for a free quote at 904-322-2063.
Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny is family owned and operated. We have low overhead. That means you save money. We'll take the time to make your deal work. Whether it be financing, monthly payments, or your trade value, at Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny, we want to sell you this car, your next car, and everybody you know a car. I know to do that, I got to get the first one right. Come see me. I'm Larry Burkins at Burkins Chevrolet, Highway 90 in the heart of McClenny, or BurkinsChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads. Come on.
Protecting your investments and your family is essential when things go wrong. That's why you need home and auto insurance. BJ Ruiz here with Farm Bureau Insurance in Duval County, where we have been providing insurance policies for clients like you the last 60 years. We have competitive rates, offer bundle discounts. Please call BJ Ruiz for a free quote today with Farm Bureau Insurance, 904-655-4347. Real people, real service. Farm Bureau.
Come enjoy all your favorite barbecue at Cousin Willie's Smokehouse, located in Baldwin. We are open 11 to 8, Tuesday through Saturday, with daily specials, including kids eat free every Wednesday with an adult dinner entree purchase. We serve fresh pork, brisket, ribs, turkey, and more, with a ton of homemade sides and your favorite sauces. Come hang with Cousin Willie.
Hey guys, Dylan Denmark here, and I came home a couple weeks ago and I saw that the driveway was looking really nice, and I knew that my dad didn't have a pressure washer, but I knew that he had got it somewhere, and that was Randy Shepard from Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing. Located on the west side of Jacksonville, you can contact Randy Shepard at randyshepard@comcast.net or hit his phone number at 904-591-7579.
you don't have the opportunity to get back. It's an automatic 5-yard penalty. So it'll be 1st down and 5 from the minus 46-yard line for Marianna.
First and 5 for Marianna at their own 46. It's a sweep left as Mason Carter sets the edge, and the Baldwin defense gets around it. Octavius Barnes and Cortez Martinez in on the tackle. 11:40 left in the first quarter. After the 4-yard loss, it's 2nd and 9 for Marianna at their own 42-yard line.
Yeah, it was a high snap with a lead sweep outside to Tucker Brock. But, Mason Carter did a good job, setting that edge and wrapping it up for tackle for loss, bring up 2nd and 9.
So Marianna is 5-5. Baldwin is 6-3. Has played 9 games in 9 weeks. 2nd and 9 for Marianna from their own 42. No safety deep for Baldwin as they load the box. Shotgun snap. It's a little high above McCall. He goes right, power behind his right tackle and just nothing doing. The Baldwin defense corrals him. Gain of maybe a couple of inches, and it's 3rd and 8 with 10:52 left in the first quarter. No score yet between Baldwin and Marianna.
Yeah, that offensive line just absolutely got stalemated by Baldwin's defensive line. Linebackers filled the gaps there, stopped the run. A little bit of push. I think it was just as far as the running back, spinning sideways and falling a football length forward in order to gain what little bit of yardage that they did.
Third and 8. Shotgun snap. Catino rolls out right, flips it to the flat, incomplete. Just below the shoe tops, but a late penalty.
Yeah, they ran a little sprint out pass to the single receiver. He ran a 12-yard comeback. Looked like the corner might have had his hands on the back of the receiver as that flag come sliding in there from the back judge. So they are calling pass interference on the defense. Whenever they mark that off, that will give Marianna enough yards
for a 1st down crossing midfield.
First and 10 for Marianna. It's the quarterback keeper along the left side. He's at the 40 to the 35. Gets to the sideline, and it's pushed out of bounds just inside the 30-yard line. 10 minutes left in the first quarter. No score between Baldwin and Marianna.
Yeah, quarterback keeper there going around the left edge. Looked like he was able to get outside. Great pursuit on the defense to shove out of bounds. New set of downs for Marianna at the Baldwin 29-yard line.
Ten left in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for Marianna at the 29 of Baldwin. First and 10 for Marianna as they switch the line. They go over low to the right side, and it looks like a defensive lineman jumped.
Yeah, there's definitely been a lack of discipline defensively right now, as this is the 3rd penalty on Baldwin's defense here in the first drive, helping Marianna sustain a drive down the field that should have been stalemated already.
Yeah, Marianna had 3rd down. It was a 3rd and 9. They threw it incomplete. It was a pass interference that extended the drive, and it's now 1st and 5 for Marianna at the 24-yard line. 10:09 in the first quarter. Direct snap to McCall, runs behind his left guard and runs to a mosh pit. And that's pretty much what you're going to get all game. Marianna runs a single wing with a wing behind the left guard, the left tackle, and a tight end left. And it's now 2nd and 3, no score, 9:50 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, they just went power lead there off the left tackle. Just try to fall forward and gain 2 yards. Get to the next play and try to wear down the defense. Physically if they can.
9:30 left in the first quarter. It's 2nd and 4 for Marianna at the 24 of Baldwin. McCall has an overload left. It's a counter to the right. Runs behind his right tackle. He's tackled by Malcolm Harvin. It looks like Hagan McQuaid. That was Tucker Brock on the carry. 9:15 left in the first quarter. Clock runs. 3rd and 3 coming up for Marianna.
Yeah, a little counter there. They try to add a little wrinkle in, see a ball in discipline, but they all played assignment football. Stop them here, bring up a hard 3rd and 2. Hopefully Baldwin can try to get them for a tackle for loss here. Put them in a hard 4th down situation and get off the field.
Clock ticks, just under 9 minutes in the first quarter. It's a 3rd and 3 for Marianna at the 23-yard line. Direct snap to Catino. He runs behind his left guard, and he stood up. Eric Buggust and company in on the tackle. Octavius Barnes. The linebacker throws his nose in. It's a 4th and 3, 8:30 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, a little orbit motion coming behind the quarterback there. Tried a little misdirection, a little smoke and mirrors. He kept it, went off the left tackle, was absolutely stalemated and gang tackle and pushed back for 0 to maybe half a yard loss. Bring up a tough 4th and 2. This is what playoff football is made about right here.
Two wings and a tight end right. Catino in the gun. It's a high snap. He rolls out right. It's tipped, but it's caught in the flat of the 15. Turns up the right sideline inside the 5, and he's tackled just shy of the goal line. 4th and 3. Nobody was there. Clock stops at 7:51 left in the first quarter, and Marianna looks to score on their opening drive.
Yeah, definitely something that the defense probably didn't see. I don't think anybody else in the stadium saw it coming either, but number 11, Taquan Catino, caught that pass out in the flats. Good throw by number 12, Devin. So I guess it's maybe brother-to-brother connection there to give him a 1st and goal inside the 5.
1st and goal from the 3. Ball's at the right hash. McCall gets it. The snap at his head. He barrels in, and he's going to be just inches shy of the goal line. A couple of Marianna players wanted the touchdown. It was just short. 7:30 left in the first quarter. Looking to punch it in. Marianna got the ball first, and Baldwin had Marianna stopped on a 3rd and 9. It was a pass interference that extended the drive. And Marianna looks like they're going to have a 60-yard drive to open the game with 7:20 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, they just went power lead with their go-to guy, Jaden McCall, off the right side. So they're lined up in the same formation. Probably do it again.
2nd and goal from the 2.
There it is.
McCall barrels in behind his right guard, and it's good for a touchdown. So Marianna takes the early lead, 6-0 with 7:06 left in the first quarter. And just like Coach Shields told you and I before the game, Coach Ruiz, Marianna is going to take out a lot of clock. And as you see, about 6 minutes left in the first quarter. And that's typical Marianna, Pensacola, Panhandle football.
That's it. Everybody in 3-point stance, smash mouth football. They ran a couple of pass plays, got a penalty on one, completed 1st down on another, and then, was able to run it in, do what they do best and run in the football. But there was a low snap. PAT went low, so therefore they kept the extra point off the board to hold Marianna to 6, Baldwin 0, with 7:06 left in the first quarter. So that first drive, Marianna was able to start with a good kickoff return, and they sustained a drive off of 3 Baldwin penalties. Baldwin was able to help out Marianna's offense in that first drive, but I think Baldwin will get that corrected. If they can come back here and answer it, kick the extra point, go up 7-6, defense is going to come out and play with a little bit of fire. And they shut them down, pretty good for the most part. Just a couple of those pass plays that caught them off guard. And then, giving them free yardage, that's never a good thing.
Yeah, so Baldwin was hoping that Marianna had a long bus ride. It came out usually like a little lackadaisical, but not the case as Marianna goes right down the field and leads 6-0 with 7:06 left in the first quarter as Marianna breaks the huddle. The 2 return men, DeBose and Miller, standing with their heels at the 10-yard line. Baldwin has 5 guys at the middle of the field, and it's a low squib kick that skips across the Baldwin turf, and Octavius Barnes recovers it at the 30-yard line on the left hash. So Baldwin will take over from their own 30, going left to right from our Burkins Chevrolet broadcast booth. 1st and 10, and we'll now see who Baldwin comes out on offense, whether it be Jalen Hitchens or Ethan Krause. It looks like Krause will get the nod to start the game, as no quarterback this season for Baldwin who has started the first snap and ended the game, as both quarterbacks have played every game so far with a 6-3 record after losing to Baker County last week. Ball's at left hash, 1st and 10 for Armel DeBose and the Wildcat. Tez in at the wing. It's a sweep. Someone comes freeze at the 25, runs backwards, and runs out of bounds for a hard 1-yard gain. Penalties thrown on Baldwin's sideline where DeBose ran out of bounds. The flag is stopped at the 40-yard line with 6:58 to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, they lined up in a little Wildcat 2x2 formation with a wing sweep right. We have a hold on the edge. So once again, Baldwin with a self-inflicting penalty there. Mark off and I don't know. Let's see if the coach is going to decline this and take 2nd and 10, or if he's going to go 1st and 20.
Whitehead still talking with the referee, and I think he wants to take it. So instead of 2nd and 9, it'll be 1st and 19. 6:58 to play in the first quarter. Baldwin deferred for the second half. Marianna got the ball, went 60 yards down the field, and scored on a power from McCall on the right side. Krause in the gun, 1st and 20 from Baldwin's own 20. 4 receiver set. Krause in the gun. They give to DeBose behind his left guard. He tries to get toward the middle of the field. Gets a yard. It'll be 2nd and 19 for Baldwin's offense.
2x2 formation with offset running back. Just hand off in a little inside zone. Gained 1.5 yards. Falling forward. Not much of a push up front on that play.
Baldwin looks to win its first playoff game in school history tonight. They came so close the last 5 years and look to do it tonight at home in Baldwin's 3rd home playoff game in school history. 2nd and 19 for Baldwin at their own 22. Krause in the empty backfield, 5 receivers, trips left. And a pre-snap penalty. It looks like a receiver jumped just a little early. It'll be a false start.
Yeah, Marianna's already went to their too high safety look, playing cover 4. Trying to prevent the deep ball as Baldwin comes out in an empty formation. Got a little ahead of yourself. One thing I've always told my receivers, you don't worry about a snap count. Your eye watches the ball. You don't move until the ball moves. Unfortunately, they did there and backed up 5 more yards, still playing behind the chains.
6:10 left in the first. Clock continues to run. 2nd and long. Baldwin's ball at their own 18. They need to get to the 40 to get a first down. 5 receiver set again. Krause in the gun. Bell tie snap. 3-step drop, throws it over the middle, incomplete to DeJuan Malpress. He threw it well in front of him at the 27-yard line. So on comes a 3rd and long for Baldwin's offense.
Yeah, they ran what you call a little Hoss concept there, which is a staple of the Patriots and Tom Brady likes to do with the Buccaneers now. He hitches on the outside, slot fade by the number 2 receiver, and an over route or wahoo if you're football savvy with terminology. Over the middle, which should have been there with a too high safety look. We just had a low throw there.
Clock stops, 5:55 left in the first quarter. 3rd and 20 for Baldwin's offense. From their own 19, Krause rolls left. Points with his right index finger. Flips it. Caught at the original line of scrimmage. He gets upfield. Tackled at the 35-yard line on the left sideline. That was DeJuan Malpress on the receiver. And it's 4th and 5 for Baldwin. And Coach Shields yells for the punt team to come on the field.
That was a good pocket mobility by number 13, Ethan Krause there, being able to work, point his receivers settling down, delivering the ball, and being able to work after that. And that's one thing they got to do, is stop pre-snap penalties,
be able to deliver the ball into all these athletes' hands, man, and let them work in open space. And then the hardest thing in football, make an open field tackle. If they can do that, we know these Indians can find the end zone.
So Bardo comes on to punt, 4th and 5 from Baldwin's own 35. Ellsbury is your long snapper. Snap's good. It's nearly blocked. Bardo gets it away, bounces at the 45. Almost touched. It might have been touched by Marianna. Baldwin comes up with it, and it is Baldwin ball. So how about that? Baldwin punts on their opening drive. There's a water timeout on the field. And Baldwin catches an early break with 4:55 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, after a very short punt there, instead of the returner yelling Peter for everybody to get away from the ball and letting Baldwin down it, he tries to come up and be a hero and scoop it. It hits off of him, goes between his legs, and Baldwin's there to recover, get the ball at their own 38-yard line, and we get a fresh set of downs and hopefully be able to redeem themselves here.
So apologies for the issues we had earlier in the broadcast. As Marianna got the ball first, they drove down 60 yards, and Marianna has the lead 6-0 over Baldwin after a couple of penalties. Was forced to punt, but just recovered a muffed punt from Marianna. So Baldwin has the ball at the 37-yard line in Marianna territory. And last week, one of the backbreakers for Baldwin was the field position. Baldwin had 2 possessions there where they had to start inside their 10-yard line. And in a game that Baldwin needed to win to get home field, even though they still got it. It's be crucial tonight. It's 1st and 10, empty backfield again. Trips left. DeBose in motion left to right. It's a fake jet sweep thrown over the middle of the field. Caught by Malpress at the 25. He's tackled at the 15-yard line at the middle of the field. Excellent throw and catch from Krause to Malpress, and it's 1st and 10.
Yeah, that was good. Gave the motion, helped give the quarterback a pre-snap read. Nobody adjusted with the motion, caught the snap, dropped back, was able to throw that in the split 2 high safety look, complete for a first down inside of the 15-yard line.
4:25 left in the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Malpress and Miller line up. The receivers out right. Krause in the gun with DeBose in the backfield. Miller catches it at the 10 on top of the numbers. And it's a 3-yard gain. So it's 2nd and 7, just under 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter.
It looks like we're going to have a 2nd and 6 situation here. We'll see if Baldwin's going to try to run the football between tackles or keep running and spreading across the field.
2nd and 7 from the right hash at the 12-yard line for Baldwin. Baldwin's in the all-black uniforms. Marianna is in the white tops and purple bottoms. 2nd and 7 from the 11. Krause in the gun, the give to the belly of DeBose. He spins just behind his left tackle, gets inside the 10, tackled at the 7-yard line. So it gets 3rd and manageable. I'll say 3rd and 4 for Baldwin.
Yeah, run a little inside zone. He made a cut. Probably made a spin he didn't have to. I think if he just keeps pumping his legs and pushing forward, he might have got into the end zone. But you can never knock somebody giving that extra effort here. So got a good 3rd down play here and got to be able to convert.
2:50 left in the first quarter. Baldwin trails Marianna 6-0. DeBose is the tailback to the right of Krause in the gun. Ball nears the right hash with King, Grant, and Miller lined out right. Krause gets it, rolls out left, wants to slant. He's going to have to throw it to the back corner of the end zone, and it's caught, bobbled. Did he haul it in? No call yet, and it's incomplete. I didn't see who the receiver was who caught it at the far corner of the end zone. It was DeJuan Malpress, who initially had it and then bobbled it in the back corner of the end zone near their field house as the clock stops with 2:27 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, it looks like he went up initially and got it, bobbled it on the way down. By the time he was out of bounds, he gained control. Therefore, the ball is going to be incomplete and bring up a 4th down. Looks like Baldwin's going to go for it here.
2:27 left in the first quarter. 4th and 4 for Baldwin. Ball is just outside of the 5-yard line. They need to get to the 3 to get a first down. 4 receivers set, 2 to each side. Krause in the gun with DeBose to his left. Marianna Krause line of scrimmage. It's a fade right side. No, it's actually thrown to the flat, incomplete to Buggus. Threw it well out in front of him. Turnover on downs, and Marianna will take over inside their 10-yard line.
Hey, kudos to Baldwin for going for it right there. Was trying to throw a little speed out to the number 2 receiver. Just out of reach of his fingertips, and a turnover on downs.
So the change of possession is now 2:22 left in the first quarter. Marianna scored on its opening drive. And Baldwin is in a pretty much a 5-4 defense. Right to left is Carter, Buggus, Yurdy, McQuaid, and McCray. 1st and 10 for Marianna's own 6. It's a mosh pit to the right side behind the right tackle for McCall. He's able to get 2 yards, 2nd and 8.
I mean, that's about as basic as you can get right there on a single wing offense, catching the snap, trying to run in between the tackles with 2 extra lead blockers inside, trying to push the pile and fall forward.
2 minutes left in the first quarter, 2nd and it looks like now 6 for Marianna. Baldwin looks to win its first playoff game in school history tonight, as this is the first round, the regional quarterfinal of the FHSAA playoffs. Winner tonight will play at South Walton next Friday. McCall gets it. It's a power to the right side and nothing doing. It looks like 9 Baldwin defenders were on top of it, gets 1. And Coach Marianna runs 2 wings and a tight end right side, and pretty much wherever those guys are, it's that's where the ball usually goes.
Yeah, right there it looked like one of the guards pulled the wrong way and it opened up the A gap for linebacker to shoot in and be able to get them for a loss on that play. But usually when you got an extra wing, he usually the telltale sign in that single wing on where that ball is going to go. So it looks like they spread out here with 2 receivers, might be a passing down.
Coutinho in the gun, 2 receivers split out left. It's a read option. He keeps it behind his left guard. And Octavius Barnes blasts him at the line of scrimmage. On the 3rd and 4, he got 2. And looks like Marianna will change personnel, bring on the punt team with 30 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, they try to give a different look there out of the gun with 2 receivers split here towards the home sideline and run a little read option, quarterback keeper trying to get a first down. But Marianna's backed up here having to punt. Hopefully Baldwin catch it and get a short field.
As Marianna punts it away from inside their own 5, the ball rolls along the Marianna sideline just out of bounds, just shy of midfield, and there's a penalty thrown at the 15-yard line. And it's a block in the back on Baldwin. So Baldwin, it looked like they were going to have great field position in Marianna territory, and another silly penalty hurts Baldwin there.
Yeah, silly would actually be an understatement about that penalty as the punt goes out of bounds. And then the guy that was blocked in the back is a defensive lineman that was no way going to make a tackle on anybody on the field. And that was 30 yards behind the football. So therefore, it's going to cost Baldwin yardage before they even get to take a snap on this drive.
So the 10-yard penalty backs Baldwin up to their own 48. 13 seconds left in the first quarter. Baldwin trails Marianna 6-0. 1st and 10 for Baldwin. Ball is near the left hash, 2 yards shy of midfield. As we're waiting for the white hat to get behind the quarterback. As DeBose is in the gun by himself with Tez, the wing, behind Huntley, the right tackle. 1st and 10. DeBose gets the snap, chest high. He's the sweep right side. Gets a block from Tez at midfield. He comes free from the 40. He's at the 35, and he's tackled at the 30-yard line with 3 seconds left in the first quarter. So wipe away the penalty and give the ball in in your playmaker's hands.
Yeah, there ain't no doubt about it. Came out with the same play they started last drive with, an empty set Wildcat formation, sweep right, and he was able to be athletic and get outside.
First and 10 for Baldwin at the 31. 3 seconds left in the first quarter. 4 receiver set spread. And another handoff to DeBose. He's able to get 2 yards. And that'll end the first quarter. Baldwin leads it. Baldwin trails Marianna 6-0 at the end of 1.
Easy, honest pricing, worth my drive. Hi, I'm Larry Burkins from Burkins Chevy in McClenny, and those aren't my words. Those are the words of our customers. We don't play games to sell a vehicle. We do business the right way. All of those incentives you hear other dealers advertising, well, you get those at every Chevy dealer. And if Chevy makes it, we have it or can get it. Come on. So make the easy drive to deal with Burkins Chevy. It's worth your time. Highway 90 in the heart of McClenny or BurkinsChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads. Come on.
Depends on what's. BJ Ruiz here with Farm Bureau Insurance, whether it's a bank loan, homeowners insurance, life insurance, estate planning, or safe and secure banking services. I can assist you here in Duval County, whatever your phase of life. Give me a call today, 904-655-4347, or email bj.ruiz@ffbic.com.
Start the second quarter. Baldwin trails Marianna 6-0. It's 2nd and 8 for Baldwin after the big play from DeBose. Ball's at near the right hash at the 29 of Marianna. DW runs onto the field as Armel DeBose is the Wildcat quarterback with a wing left. DeBose gets it. It's going to be a power behind his left tackle. He hurdles the lineman, and there's a penalty thrown at the 30 as he breaks free to the 20, to the 10, and he gets to the corner. He's into the end zone for a touchdown, but it looks like it's going to be called all the way back as Thomas Ellsbury has his hands up like he didn't do something. Usually that's guilty, as if usually did something.
Yeah, there's a holding penalty on the offense. The side judge threw that quickly. Armel DeBose made a heck of a play, taking a hit inside the tackle box, bouncing that outside, and finding the end zone. So that is just going to back up 10 yards and replay 2nd down.
Baldwin looks for its first playoff win in school history tonight. 11:50 left in the second quarter. As this is the game between the 4 and 5 seeds in 4A. The winner of this game will play at South Walton next Friday night. Baldwin ball at the 41 of Marianna, and it's 2nd and 20 after the holding penalty. DeBose again in the backfield. DeBose gets it, runs behind his left tackle, and he gets caught from behind at the 37 on the numbers on the left side, and it'll be 3rd and 17 for Baldwin.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for one time they line up in this Wildcat for DeBose to catch it and flick it out there to Krause in the bubble. Krause take one to the house. but Armel DeBose is doing a great job with the ball in his hands, trying to create and make things happen. Now they're in a 3rd and very long situation here. Hopefully try to cut this in half.
3rd and 17 from the left hash at the 37-yard line for Baldwin. 11 minutes left in the second quarter. Baldwin trails 6-0. DW, King Grant, and Miller line out right. DeBose in the gun again. And it's a jet sweep. Left side fakes it. DeBose keeps it along the right side. He's at the 30. Gets to the 25. Finds some room. He gets inside to the 20. Tackled at around the 15-yard line. And a huge play for a Baldwin first down on a 3rd and 17.
Yeah, 3rd and 17. Once again, putting the ball in the playmaker's hands, letting him create. Guys were blocking great up front, putting a half for a hat, letting DeBose, work his magic and use his speed and space. Gets around the right edge, down inside the 15, and gets tangled up, bring up a fresh set of downs for the Indians.
10:30 left in the second quarter. 1st and 10 for Baldwin at the 15-yard line. Baldwin's mostly one with the Wildcat quarterback, as now DeJuan Malpress will get his share behind the center, Thomas Ellsbury. Buggus is the wing left behind his left tackle. And it's a quarterback keeper with Malpress. He sweeps it around left side. He's at the 15. He's hucked down at the 8-yard line. Clock continues to run as a couple of Baldwin coaches wanted some kind of horse collar face mask, and they didn't get it. 10 minutes left in the second quarter after the 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, it was a great run by Malpress, and it looked like a horse collar or a face mask, but nothing was called. But, sometimes you just got to play your own game. And referees definitely haven't given them any calls. They've hurt themselves, but you got to move on to the next play, and it brings up a second and short 3. Baldwin looking to power this thing inside the tackles, get in the end zone.
2nd and 3 from the 9. Malpress sweeps it right. There's a penalty thrown at the line of scrimmage right when the ball was snapped, and he gains 2. It'll be a 3rd and 1, but the penalty probably will be on Baldwin and back them up again. So if you're just joining us, Marianna went right down the field on their first try after Baldwin had a pass interference. It was on 3rd and 9. Could have got Baldwin off the field, but extended the drive for Marianna. McCall scored on a 2-yard run, and Baldwin recovered them up to punt after their first drive. And they're running mostly Wildcat quarterbacks with Armel DeBose and DeJuan Malpress, their 2 senior wideouts.
Yeah, we're waiting to see what the penalty is here. They're calling false start on the offense. I think it was for the receiver that came in motion. He didn't get set before he went in motion. Therefore, they're going to call a false start on that, which really should be an illegal shift, and back the Indians up and replay 2nd down.
9:22 left in the second quarter. Baldwin trails 6-0. Baldwin looks for its first playoff win in school history tonight. As Baldwin's played 9 games in 9 weeks with a 6-3 record. Marianna is 5-5. Marianna is the 5 seed. Baldwin is the 4 seed in 4A. 2nd and 8 after the penalty. Balls at the left hash at the 14-yard line as Krause comes back in the gun. DeBose to his right in the backfield with 2 receivers to each side. Krause gets snapped, sets high. It's another penalty thrown, and Buggus goes up. It's caught for a touchdown at the back of the end zone, but the penalty was thrown right as the ball was snapped, and it's usually something with not enough men on the line of scrimmage. And I believe this is Baldwin's 7th penalty, as players go away, as it's going to be actually a sideline interference on Marianna. So the touchdown is good, and we're all tied up at 6.
And it was a great throw by Krause and a good one-handed catch for a touchdown in the back of the end zone by number 3, Eric Buggus. Looks like Marianna's coaches were all about 4 and 5 yards on the field trying to yell at their defense, which is why they got that sideline warning.
So Neal comes on to kick the extra point. He's 21 for 27 on the season. This will give Baldwin the lead with 8:58 in the second quarter. Holds down, kicks away, plenty of leg to it, and it's good. And Baldwin leads 7-6 over Marianna with 8:58 in the second quarter. As you can see on the screen, I'd like to thank all the sponsors to help put this broadcast together. Burkins, Chevrolet in McLean, Florida. Mr. Chubby's Wings, Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing. Cousin Willie's Smokehouse. Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. And the guy calling the game with me tonight, our Farm Bureau insurance agent, B.J. Ruiz.
Yeah, I've stepped away from coaching the great game of football. Said I try to support Dylan here in his podcast, being an agent back here in Duval County, and serving the Jacksonville area has been great. Whether if it's homeowners insurance, auto insurance, and we specialize with life insurance to protect your assets and your family. Give me a call, 904-655-4347. Let's talk.
So Neal boots it away, and it'll go out of bounds at the 15-yard line. As Coach Shields throws his palms up as I think they wanted to get it in that soft zone behind the line for Marianna. It just kicked off the edge of O'Neill's foot, and that should give Marianna a decent field position around their own 40, I believe.
Yeah, I think he gave a little more leg than he wanted to on that. Didn't catch it right. Kind of squibbed and went out of bounds. So it's going to give Marianna a good starting field position at the 35-yard line. The ball here closest to the home sideline. So if I had to guess, we're probably going to see some single wing, a little sweep, a little power lead action coming.
1st and 10 for Marianna, the right hash from their own 35. Marianna's in the white jerseys. With McCall in the gun, Barrington jumps, but no offsides is called. He makes one-man miss at the 30. That was Antonio Laws. And I believe it was Yurd you come up with a tackle. McCall loses 1 yard. 2nd and 11 for Marianna at their own 34-yard line.
And it was a lead sweep. So, we all saw that coming. Baldwin did a great job of stretching that out and guys pursuing to the football, wrapping up and making a tackle for a loss.
8:25 in the second quarter. Baldwin leads Marianna after the Eric Buggis touchdown. 7-6. 2nd and 11 for Marianna. Split backfield in the gun. It's a give behind the left guard to McCall. Barrels his way past a couple of Baldwin defenders and gets 4 yards shy of the first down at the 41-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 4 and a pivotal down for Baldwin as McQuaid comes in for Barrington.
Yeah, split backfield read option there. Quarterback gave it. If he pulled it, he had the option to run it himself or pitch it to another running back that came behind him. Running back did a good job cutting up in the middle, bringing up a 3rd and long 4.
Marianna in the gun as they switch their offensive line, and it's an offside penalty. So 3rd and 4, 5-yard penalty makes it an automatic first down for Marianna, and what they like to do is have 2 linemen on one side and have the overload to the other, and then every now and again they'll flip it, and that defensive line thinks that they're ready to go, but sometimes that's not the case. And if you looked at the film from the last 2 weeks against the teams that Marianna play, that's happened a lot, and Baldwin's fell victim of it twice now tonight.
I got a little overexcited there. The coaching to me coming out, guys not being disciplined. To me, it's a little bush league of a play to do on a pre-snap shift, but you got to be disciplined enough to watch the football.
Gross comes in for Mason Carter. Catino rolls out right on the 1st and 10 from midfield. The ball is caught at the 38-yard line, down the right sideline, tackled by Octavius Barnes at the Morales catches it for Marianna as we are 7 minutes left until halftime on a big play from Marianna.
Yeah, they gave a little counter run out action there. Baldwin set the edge. Quarterback did a good job of setting his feet, stepping up, and delivering a throw to Josh Morales, who was corralled by 2 Baldwin defenders.
6:50 left in the second quarter. 1st and 10 for Marianna from the right hash of the 29-yard line. Wing right with 2 receivers left. Catino throws the bubble left side. It is wide open at the line of scrimmage. Gets 10 yards. Spins at the 20-yard line. Gets to around the 15-yard line. That was Ryan Paramore on the receiving end for Marianna. And Marianna is in business to retake the lead, trailing 7-6 to Baldwin.
Yeah, Marianna's offense is breaking a lot of their tendencies right now with formations and sprint out passes, throwing a little bit of bubble screens and trying to spread the ball out to some of their athletes instead of just running it between tackles. But it looks like that's what we're about to see here. Maybe another read option.
Split backfield, Catino in the gun. And he's going to give it to the other Catino behind his left guard, and he still goes. And the 10 to the 5. Looked like he was initially wrapped up about 3 yards shy from the first down. That's right at the 5-yard line. But second effort gets a first down, I believe, for Marianna Actually, it's going to be inches shy of the first down, but excellent run still from Catino.
Yeah, he kept pumping his legs. Did a great job of pushing the pile, not stopping until he heard a whistle and got as many yards as he could out of that play.
2nd and an inch from the 6-yard line as the whistle blows, and Coach Shields shakes his head as he's all the way to the numbers of the 5-yard line and wants to regroup on this 2nd and 1 with 5:49 to play in the second quarter. As we're all going audio only tonight for the FHSAA Regional Quarterfinal. Baldwin leads Marianna 7-6. McCall got the first touchdown. Extra point was missed for Marianna, and for Baldwin, it was a 15-yard throw and catch from Krause to Eric Buggus, the 2 seniors. Extra point was good from Aiden O'Neill as Marianna, after a couple pass plays, something that they're not prone to do, going a little off script, as Marianna's had 2,000 rushing yards and only 200 passing yards all season long. Has had quite a bit of yards this drive through the air. As Marianna looks to retake the lead on the 2nd and 1 from the 6-yard line. Ball is at the left hash. Direct snap goes behind the right guard, and it'll be right on top of the first down marker. I think he got the first down. They only needed a couple of inches. I believe that was Morales on the carry, as the clock will stop with 5:33 in the second quarter.
25, Gus Morales on the carry. First down, Marianna.
It is 1st and goal. Clock runs. 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter. But don't go anywhere at halftime, as we'll keep you up to date from scores around the Jacksonville area in the first round of the playoffs and tell you what's going on in 4A, as Terry Parker leads Range early 7-0. 1st and goal, I formation. No receivers, and it looks like it's a false start. Lineman moved before the ball was snapped. So 1st and goal from the 4, backs it up to around the 8, as it should be.
Nope, it's on us. It's on us.
As correction, they call it offside, so it's half the distance to the goal. 5 minutes left until halftime. I formation. Catino, quarterback sneaks it. And referee says he's into the end zone for a Marianna touchdown.
Is that Baldwin? Preliminary indication is touchdown, Marianna.
So touchdown with 4:54 until halftime. Marianna retakes the lead 12-7. And it looks like they're going to go for 2 here to make this a 7-point game.
Marianna is going up for a 2-point conversion.
It's a power behind his right guard in the I formation, and the 2-point conversion's good. Marianna retakes the lead over Baldwin 14-7. A couple of other scores. Gadsden County leads Jackson early 13-7 in the second quarter. University and Fletcher are tied at 7 apiece. And as I said earlier, Terry Parker leads Rains 7-0. As one more score for you. Barton Trail leads Lake Brantley. That game is an 8A early first quarter, 7-6. And the rest of the games will kick off at 7:30. University Christian, Baker County in a rematch with Ed White. Bishop Kenny travels all the way to Wacola. And a rematch with Riverside, more known as Lee, and Columbia also takes place tonight. So Baldwin lost to Baker last week Baker gets the 1 seed and their hosts as Baker beat Ed White to get the district championship.
Right.
And so Ed White goes back to Baker, something Ed White didn't want to see, but more power to Baker. They put Baldwin on the schedule, and that's the reward you get for playing a good team.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be a great atmosphere, Memorial Stadium over there in McClenny, home of the Wildcats. I had the pleasure of coaching there for a couple of years, and coaching in some really big football games. So as Ed White heads down the street, it's going to be a good football game underneath the lights over there. Probably be very high scoring.
As Marianna puts it, it's a short kick. The ball is loose around midfield, and I think Baldwin has recovered it. It was number 27, Octavius Barnes, who got it. Boy, that was that's one where you hold your breath if you're anything associated with Baldwin, but Baldwin gets it or will get it to start the drive at their own 47.
That was a good job by Octavius Barnes there, paying attention to the ball. It was a good kick by the kicker on that onside attempt there, but Octo was able to get it, fall down on it, and get Baldwin the ball back on offense to start at the minus 46-yard line. So hopefully Baldwin can put a drive here together to try to equal out this score with 4:52 left in the second quarter.
I think the referees are taking a water timeout on the field. And I'd like to take this time to thank the official sponsor of Baldwin Athletics, Commercial Metals, something you and your father know about, as your father, Bruce Ruiz, was able to get that as something. It's still weird to see a sponsor below the scoreboard, as they helped us out financially a ton.
Yes, for sure. And it's good to see the steel mill, which is over new ownership now, being able to take some of that money and give back here into the local community with the local high school with Baldwin. So we'd like to thank Commercial Metals, CMC, for giving back to Baldwin High School Athletics and being an official sponsor.
So Krause comes back on the game. It's 1st and 10 from their 46-yard line. DeBose is the wing left, empty backfield, 4 receivers with just under 5 minutes left until half. Grant gets a jet sweep left side, tries to find some room, makes a man miss. He's at midfield, has some room to the 40, to the 35, and he's tackled at the 28-yard line. And, boy, it looked like he was going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage and made something out of nothing. And Baldwin has a huge play from King Grant.
Yeah, he definitely made something out of nothing there on that jet sweep. I thought number 4, DeJuan Malpris, was going to get called for a block in the back. He reached out and grabbed the DB by the back of the collar. But luckily the referees didn't see it. I'm not sure how they've seen everything else for this first half. But that young man made a great run, turning up the sideline, give Baldwin a fresh set of downs at the 25-yard line. 1st and
10 from the 26. It's 1 safety over top in an empty backfield. Trips right. Malpress, King, and DW lined out right. Miller and DeBose left. Krause stands with his hands at his chest. That's where the snap goes. It's a fade, left side to go. Ball to Jihad Miller. Penalty's thrown at the 5-yard line, and it should be a pass interference. And Jihad Miller is one of those players where no ball is uncatchable. And it should be a pass interference on Marianna, and it is. So Baldwin went deep after the big play from King Grant on the jet sweep, and after the 15-yard penalty, should put Baldwin ball 1st and 10 to the 15.
Yeah, that was an absolutely beautiful fade ball there from the slot fade thrown by Ethan Krause. If there was no defensive pass interference, probably striking up the band for another 6 and attempting a PAT here. But instead, they'll march it off, give a fresh set of downs. Should be in the red zone. In order to start this series, the ball should be at around the 14, 15-yard line.
4:35 left in the second quarter. Baldwin tries to make this a 14-all game after Marianna scored a touchdown on their last drive. It'll be 1st and 10 from the left hash at the 15. The Bose will be the Wildcat quarterback with Krause, the original quarterback, lined out left. All the skill players lined up right, trips right with Buggist at tight end. DeBose, power behind his guard, and he's wrapped up, tackled by number 4, Chadwick Spencer, the middle linebacker. It was a big hole, but the line just missed one guy.
Yeah, right there, Armel, he might have tried to do a little too much with the cutback. If he would have kept that thing front side, you probably would have had a little more green grass to run to. But you can never question an athlete and giving great effort because you're not wearing those cleats on your feet and you're not carrying the ball in your hands.
4 minutes left until half. Baldwin trails 14-7. 2nd and 9 from the 14. It's a sweep right. DeBose makes the men miss along the right hash, turns it upfield right there. Gets to around the 10-yard line. I think he got to the 9, and it'll be 3rd and short by about 3rd and 3 yards, possibly 4, with 3:40 left until half.
Yeah, we're going to see if they're going to get out of Wildcat here and go to a traditional set with Krause at quarterback, whether it be in the 3rd and a long 4, or if they're just going to try to hand the ball off here, try to get something, or if we're going to put the ball in the air and throw it to a 6'6" receiver on a 5'8" corner. There you like to go to your matchups when you get down here in the red zone.
3:15 left until halftime. 3rd and 4. DeBose, the lone quarterback in the gun. It's a direct snap. Sweep left side. Carries the ball with his right hand. Flag is thrown as there was a wall of defenders in white jerseys for Marianna as he lost 2 yards, I think. And laundry is heavy tonight for Baldwin. And not a recipe for success if you want to win playoff games.
Yeah, the defense is they're starting to get a telltale sign of what's coming, and they are out leveraging the offensive line and the blockers to be able to cut that off and cut him back, being able to get some upfield penetration to stop that outside stretch run out of the Wildcat formation.
Now the white hat will run over to the Marianna sideline and see if he wants to accept or decline it. I think the difference would be a 3rd and 14 or a 4th and 6. And so far it's been a bunch of Baldwin big plays off of jet sweeps and one pass, the only touchdown from Ethan Krause to Eric Buggist on that last drive. And it is holding on Baldwin, penalties decline, so it'll be 4th and 6. Excuse me. 2 penalties on Baldwin, both declined, so it will be 4th and 6 for Baldwin.
Yeah, Coach Rob Shield probably feels like Dan Mullen in a couple of his games for the Florida Gators this year with as many penalties as his team has had here in the first half, which probably make you have an ulcer, especially here in a playoff game, when you're trying to make history and put a W on the scoreboard. So looks like they're going to regroup here, 4th down, take their shot at the end zone.
Clock runs under 3 minutes in the half. Baldwin trails 14-7 to Marianna. It's a 4th and 6. Looks like a short 7. And Krause breaks the huddle as he gets the call from Gus Scott. Empty backfield, and now Krause calls timeout.
Timeout has been called by quarterback Ethan Krause.
With 2:36 left in the second quarter. So one more timeout as Coach Shields burned a timeout on defense on their last drive. So Baldwin has one more. I believe Marianna still has all 3, I think,
That leaves the Indians with 1 timeout.
with 2:36 left in the second quarter. And Coach, quick first half recap. What have you seen so far from both teams in this game?
You've seen a lot of all-out effort. There's been a lot of miscues and penalties, pre-snap penalties, and also stuff during play. And to me, that's just a lack of discipline of penalties on both sides of the ball. Marianna's, they're trying to run the football and, run this clock down. Been a little bit of back and forth. Personal opinion with no bias for the Baldwin Indians, but Baldwin's beating them themselves. Marianna is not beating them at all. They're giving them, good field position, letting them reset the chains and then backing themselves up on offense. I think if they can get this stuff corrected right here, make those adjustments at halftime, we'll see a different outcome in this game.
So it's 4th and 6, empty backfield. Krause is the quarterback with Buggist and DeBose out left and Trips right. 2:36 to play in the half. Baldwin trails 14-7. Krause stands with his hands near his neck. It's a chest high snap. He wants a slant over the middle. It's caught from DeJuan Malprest, the senior wide receiver. No flags on the field, and it's now 14-13 Coach Shields waves his index finger with his right hand, and they will kick the extra point to tie this thing up at 14 apiece.
Yes, sir. My man Ethan Krause stepping in there, throwing a slant to that big body receiver, and DeJuan Malpris putting 6 on the board. Now we're going to look for the extra point, try to tie this thing up as number 41, Aiden O'Neill, sits back for the PAT here.
Snap's good, holds down, and the kick is not away. It's a fire. Krause is going to throw it. It looks like he had a man open in the flats as there was some miscommunication. So after Marianna misses the first extra point, Baldwin has some miscommunication between the holder, Ethan Krause, and the kicker. And Marianna will stay with the lead 14-13 with 2:31 to play in the second quarter.
That was a good answer by Baldwin's offense coming down, even though they had a couple of penalties, and being able to answer touchdown for touchdown. But hopefully that missed PAT there on the bad snap doesn't come back to hurt them. Getting set here to kick off. Hopefully defense can get a quick stop and maybe get the ball back and try to get a chance at some points to take this lead before half with 2:31 left here in the first half.
So Neil booted away right to left from our Burkins Chevrolet broadcast booth. Marianna took a long bus ride, about 3 hours, to Baldwin as O'Neill boots this one away. This time it's the middle of the field, caught at the 17 by number 11, Catino. He gets through the middle of the field, past the 35, and he's tackled at the 37.
Number 11, Scott.
Tackled by Sean Baldwin and Presley Groves.
1st and 10, Marianna.
First and 10 for Marianna from their 37-yard line. Marianna in the white tops, purple bottoms. Baldwin's in the all black tonight. 2:22 left and in the first half. As Baldwin defensively has been led by their team, not only this year, but last year as well. As Marianna comes down the shotgun with 2 backs in the backfield, 1 to each side. And it's a handoff to McCall and nothing doing for black jerseys. We're around to Barrington in on the tackle with Cortez Martinez. A 1-yard run, 2nd and 9.
Yeah, it looked very lackadaisical there by number 8, Jaden McCall. Ball was handed off, but Baldwin did a good job of stuff in the middle. I mean, he had nowhere to run. He just, gave up, and they made the tackle, get the 2nd down.
Baldwin trails by 1, 14-13, 2nd and 9, a minute 50 to play in the first half. Before our Mr. Chubby's halftime report, Marianna breaks the huddle. Same formation, wing left, 2 backs in the backfield. Quarterback's in the gun. Catino fakes it, and he keeps it along right behind his right guard and right tackle. He's tackled just outside the right hash at the 41-yard line. Pickup of a couple, and it's 3rd and 6 for Marianna with just over a minute left in the first half.
Yeah, they went gun 2 split backs with a read triple option there. Quarterback made a keeper, cut it up inside, but Baldwin did a good job of staying at home and stuffing him for a short loss.
A minute left to play. Marianna's taking their sweet time in the huddle.
1 minute to go.
And Baldwin only has 1 timeout. Clock's now 50 seconds. 3rd and 6 for Marianna. Ball's at the right hash. And they're 41. Offensive line flips. Whistle blows from the back judge. And now the penalty throw.
Should be on Marianna.
It ain't on us.
And it's a false start. So they try it again. The 2 linemen to one side, everybody else on the other, and then they completely flip it behind the center. And that time was a penalty for Marianna.
Yeah, it looked like the center put his hand on the ball, and then he picked his hand up whenever they went to shift. And they got called for a false start there. So to bring up a 3rd and 11. Hopefully Baldwin can get a stop here and get to the half.
Clock runs, 30 seconds left in the first half. 3rd and 11 as the quarterback is at the middle of the field. His huddle is at the right hash. They break the huddle, 25 seconds left. 3rd and 11 from the right hash at their 35-yard line. Coach Shields is on top of the referee, waiting to call the timeout if they get the play in. Mike Becker blitz. It's past Catino. He's at the 35, around the left side to the 40. And he's tackled at the 45-yard line. 3 seconds left. And it looks like Baldwin will take it to the half as they only trail by 1, 14-13 at halftime. We'll take a quick break, come back, give you scores around the First Coast area, and give you a first half recap with me, Dylan Denmark, and my partner, our Farm Bureau agent, B.J. Ruiz. Welcome back to our Mr. Chubby's halftime report, where Baldwin trails Marianna 14-0 as there's about 11 minutes left at the half so far for Baldwin. It's been mostly mistakes on their own with a lot of penalties, although they are only able to keep it to a 1-point game. Marianna has went off script, as they've usually ran the ball with two wings and a tight end. But on one drive, they mostly threw it going off script, getting a big play on a bubble and a quarterback rollout to the flat on about a 25-yard pass led to their second touchdown. As we try to give you some scores around the Jacksonville area, Terry Parker leads Rain 7-2 at the half. University trails Fletcher 14-7. Gaston County is still in the lead over Jackson. That's the other side of the bracket in 4A. Gaston County leads Jackson 13-7. Episcopal and Florida High. Episcopal travels all the way out to Tallahassee. Episcopal trails this one 7-0 second quarter. Barton Trail leads Lake Bentley 14-6. University Christian and Rocky Bayou Christian is still scoreless in the first quarter. Wakulla jumps out to an early lead over Bishop Kenny, 7-0. No score yet between Riverside and Columbia, and Baker jumps out early on Ed White in the first quarter, 7-0. Nice and Spruce Creek are no score, along with Creekside and Apopka. Camden County and North Cobb. Umatilla trails Keystone 8-0 first quarter. And one more score for you. Bradford leads Newberry 7-0 in the first quarter, as there's about 9.5 minutes left in the first half. We'll take a quick break, come back, and give you a first half recap with me and my partner tonight, BJ Ruiz.
Guys, you know in the summer, it rains almost every day here in the Sunshine State, and you need to be held responsible for the water that hits off your roof. That's why you need gutters, leaf coverings, and drainage through Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. Family owned and operated, based out of Briceville, Florida, Josh Wirtz will install your gutters with great quality at a reasonable price. Contact him today for a free quote at 904-322-2063.
Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny is family owned and operated. We have low overhead. That means you save money. We'll take the time to make your deal work. Whether it be financing, monthly payments, or your trade value, at Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny, we want to sell you this car, your next car, and everybody you know a car. I know to do that, I got to get the first one right. Come see me. I'm Larry Burkins at Burkins Chevrolet, Highway 90 in the heart of McClenny, or BurkinsChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads. Come on.
Protecting your investments and your family is essential when things go wrong. That's why you need home and auto insurance. BJ Ruiz here with Farm Bureau Insurance in Duval County, where we have been providing insurance policies for clients like you the last 60 years. We have competitive rates, offer bundle discounts. Please call BJ Ruiz for a free quote today with Farm Bureau Insurance, 904-655-4347. Real people, real service. Farm Bureau.
Come enjoy all your favorite barbecue at Cousin Willie's Smokehouse, located in Baldwin. We are open 11 to 8, Tuesday through Saturday, with daily specials, including kids eat free every Wednesday with an adult dinner entree purchase. We serve fresh pork, brisket, ribs, turkey, and more, with a ton of homemade sides and your favorite sauces. Come hang with Cousin Willie.
Hey guys, Dylan Denmark here, and I came home a couple weeks ago and I saw that the driveway was looking really, really nice, and I knew that my dad didn't have a pressure washer, but I knew that he had got it somewhere, and that was Randy Shepard from Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing. Located on the west side of Jacksonville, you can contact Randy Shepard at randyshepard@comcast.net or hit his phone number at 904-591-7579.
Welcome back to our Mr. Chubby's halftime report. If you're looking for wings, burgers, sandwiches, and a whole lot more, at their 3 locations on the west side, all on Chafee Road. In Ponte Vedra, Coach Ruiz's neck of the woods, or in Fleming Island, make sure you go to Mr. Chubby's Wings. So, first half, Baldwin trails 14-13. Baldwin expected to jump out on top of Marianna after Marianna had to travel pretty much halfway across the state, all the way on I-10. It did not happen. Marianna went down the field after Baldwin couldn't get off the field on a 3rd and 9. And then Baldwin comes back 7-6 after the Eric Buggas touchdown. And then Marianna comes back and answers 14-7. Baldwin then scores another touchdown to DeJuan Malpress and missed the extra point. That's how we got to 14-13. It's been pretty much what we thought for the most part, Coach Ruiz. Marianna throwing the ball a lot more than expected. That'd probably be the only surprise. But your overall assessment so far from the first half?
It's probably the most sweet plays I've ever seen in the first half of football in the most recent couple of years. Both teams are just trying to put the ball in their athletes' hands and, trying to get to the edge, trying to get a half for a hat. Baldwin, when they have went to their past game in clutch situations, Ethan Krause has made those passes. Baldwin's receivers have come up big, making some catches, big body in people, and making those things happen. So I think as long as Baldwin can stay penalty free, move the ball down the field with the run game, a little dink and dunk here and there, and then use their size down in the red zone, they should be victorious here. Hopefully there's no offsides penalties on defense with any pre-snaps shift or motions here in the second half. And we get another hard-fought 2 quarters of football as Marianna plays smash mouth, threw a couple wrinkles in there, throwing the ball, a little misdirection in the first half to help them preserve a couple penalties. But we have a good football game. This is what you want to see in the playoffs. But hopefully the Indians will head in the right direction as they finished out the first half and fire on all cylinders as they receive the ball here in the second half and come out and answer quickly and take the lead back and put Marianna in a pressure situation.
Yeah, Marianna will kick off to Baldwin to start the second half as there's 2 minutes left at halftime. Marianna, very physical, 2 wings and a tight end, and they overload one side with only a guard and a tackle on the weak side. And Baldwin tries to use their athletes out in space. Passing game hasn't been as an effect as I think the coaches for Baldwin have wanted to so far, but they've had to go off script and use a lot of wildcat formation, something that they haven't done all year with Armel DeBose and DeJuan Malpress, their 2 standout senior receivers. As Baldwin's on their sideline warming up, the kickoff receiving team is on the field, and Marianna, the team about just east of Destin, huddles up in their end zone and looks to break the huddle and start the second half. So, Coach, if you're Baldwin, any halftime adjustments do you think from Baldwin, or is it just we just got to make ourselves just a little bit better and we should be good?
Armel DeBose has done an amazing job with the ball in his hands in the wildcat formation. Maybe they can get back to a little bit more traditional style with DeBose in the backfield. It hurts, not having Vonnie Harvin back there at running back, who's a little bit banged up because a little thicker body to run in between the tackles. But maybe spread the ball out, a little bit more, in the middle of the field instead of just the red zone. Try to help spread out that Marianna defense a little bit more, make it a little harder for them to key on what's coming. So I think that's kind of what's helped Marianna out defensively. They kind of know what's coming when DeBose is back there at quarterback and being able to out-leverage the blockers up front and had, a couple costly penalties, here and there. But if Baldwin can come out and can spread the ball around a little bit more and get a couple breaks, hopefully they can wear down Marianna and put some points on the board.
This is the FHSAA Regional Quarterfinal. Baldwin's the 4th seed. Marianna is the 5. The winner of this game will play at South Walton next Friday night, the 1 seed in the 4A side of this bracket. As Baldwin looks to win its first playoff game in school history tonight. They came so close the last 10 years and look to finally do it as they only trail by 1 as we start this second half. As Marianna kicker puts his right hand up, it's a squib kick and it's an offside, so they'll have to regroup and re-kick from their own 35.
While we regroup, we want to give a shout-out to our local game warden, graduate of Baldwin, Mr. Trevor Hostler, who works a lot of security for Baldwin Athletics. We appreciate you for your service and keeping us safe and keeping all the hunters honest out there in the woods. We also want to give a shout-out to the kicking coach, who is an awesome individual and part of the Baldwin football staff, and Coach Schaefer. He does a phenomenal job coaching up the kickers and also running the video programming.
The kickers have came a long way in the last couple of years. Nicholas Sprague and Aiden O'Neill.
Hey, kickers are people too. That's the motto that coaches live by and that the kickers have bought into.
As the whistle blows, it's caught directly from Mason Carter. He falls just yards shy in front of midfield, and Baldwin has excellent field position at the 49-yard line in Marianna territory to start the second half. So Baldwin trails 14-13. Mostly Ethan Krause and Wildcat quarterback with Armel DeBose and DeJuan Malpress at quarterback.
Well, see if the Baldwin offense can come out here and start with a little juice in the empty formation. Start the second half with Ethan Krause back to take the snap at quarterback.
1st and 10 from the 49 of Baldwin. Ball's at the left hash. Empty backfield. Trips right with DeBose and Buggus in the gun. Now DeBose is the tailback to the left of Krause. He gives it to the gut of DeBose. He tries to bounce it to the left side. He's tackled just below the painted numbers on the left side at the 45-yard line. First play in the second half as a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
It looks like DeBose might have tweaked his ankle there on the cutback after gaining 5 yards on that run. They lined up in empty. DeBose returned to the backfield to a 3-by-1 look and ran a little inside zone. So they line up in a 3-by-1 formation again here.
Trent Edwards comes in at tailback on this 2nd and 6. Ball's at the left hash. Krause gives to Edwards behind his right guard and center, and he gets a nice chunk of 5 yards. I think he'll be just inches shy on this 3rd down, and he is. It's actually about 2 yards shy. My eyes aren't exactly correct. Need to get those checked. 11 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Baldwin trails by 1.
Yeah, it looked like I was going to get a better spot than that, which is probably why you gave that. But the referee did put that ball back a little bit. I think we were all kind of caught off guard by that ball spot. Baldwin looks to convert this hard 3rd down here.
Just under 11 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 2 for Krause and Baldwin's offense at the 41. The give to Laws up the gut. He gets 1. I think he needed 2, got 1, so he'll be a couple inches shy on this 4th and 1. And they keep running that read option. Krause, he's not much of a runner, and it looks like he's usually not going to be able to run tonight. So we'll see what they do here on the 4th and 1.
Yeah, it looks like DeBose is coming in here at quarterback, and they're going to go Wildcat formation to run it with him to get this 1st down with a tight power formation.
Tez and DeBose in the backfield. Tez is the wing. DeBose is your quarterback. This is direct snap to him. He gets around the left side, and he's tackled shy of the 40-yard line, but a late penalty as he's definitely short of the sticks, and it's a penalty on Baldwin. And Baldwin will turn it over on downs to start the second half, and Marianna will take over at their 41-yard line.
Yeah, that definitely looked like a good power formation there. Run a little lead power off tackle to get a 1st down, and ran sideways instead of north and south and running behind your pads to get the 1st down. So wound up being a turnover on downs. If anything, penalty would have been accepted. Replay the 3rd down and maybe 4th down, and probably would have ended up punting. But instead, Marianna gets the ball at the 40-yard line, the right hash to start the drive.
10:09 in the 3rd quarter. Marianna starts from their own 40 at the right hash. 1st and 10. Shotgun formation. Catino with a back to each side of his hip. One receiver split out left. The handoff to number 18, Tucker Brock. At 187 yards rushing coming into tonight. Loses 1 as Malcolm Harvey and Eric Buggus in on the tackle. Just under 10 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, number 18, Tucker Brock with a very rare touch there. Going off tackle. Now he's getting subbed in by number 11, Taquan Catino. Gives a play to number 12, which is his brother. As Marianna gets ready to line up a 2nd and 11 from the right hash with 9.5 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. 2 receivers split far. With a sniff and a tight end to the near side.
On the 2nd and 11, it's a give to number 28, McCall, behind his right guard. Gets 5 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 8 for Marianna.
A little power read scheme there by Marianna. the give. Quarterback carried out his fake going backside and gave a little push there for a hard 4 or 5 yards, bring up third and a long 7.
.8:45 left in the third quarter, 3rd and 7. It's a direct snap, sweep left side. He's tackled by 4 black jerseys. Cortez Martinez and Antonio Laws in on the tackle. So excellent stop after a turnover on downs from Baldwin's offense, and Baldwin will bring on the punt return team.
See if Marianna gets off a good kick here and a chance for DeBose to get a good return. Baldwin's trying to run players off the field as the punt is delivered.
It's caught by DeBose from his own 27, and he's tackled just side of the 35-yard line on the left hash. Penalty is thrown at the 35-yard line with 8 minutes left in the third quarter. And, boy, there's been a ton of penalties so far in this game, mostly on Baldwin. As Baldwin Baldwin's offense is around the huddle at the 35. The referees come to a huddle over the ball to the left hash. And it's an illegal blocking the back on Baldwin. So Baldwin is going to have decent field position at their own 35, backs them up to their own 25. And field position, just like last week against Baker County, has not helped Baldwin and not been in their favor as they trail this game 14-13. As Baldwin looks to win its first playoff game in school history tonight. Krause in the gun, 2 receivers left, trips right at the left hash of their own 25. 1st and 10. Krause gets the chest high. It's a bubble to King Grant. Caught behind the line of scrimmage. Tries to throw a stiff arm and gets 3-4 yards after second, third efforts. As 3 white jerseys bring him down on this 2nd and 6.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the receivers switching, I looked over at you and said, bubble screen's coming. Krause did a good job of catching and getting out of his hands quick, out into the playmaker's hands and letting him work for a hard-fought 5 yards.
7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. It's 2nd and 6 for Baldwin at their 31-yard line. Ball's at the right hash after the bubble to King Grant. Krause in the shotgun. Stands with his hands right at his chest. Gets it belt high. He wants it deep. Down the left side to Jahad Miller in the middle of the field. It's caught at the 32-yard line. Boy, if that ball was thrown on target, it probably would have been a touchdown, but it's completed to Jahad Miller as he falls on his back in a huge play with 7 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, a little bit of dropping that thing in the bucket. If he puts that a little more on line of a 2-ball, we might hit him in stride and be running through the back of the end zone nonetheless. Great throw, great catch, great play for a first down.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line to Marianna territory. Baldwin trails 14-13. Empty backfield again. Krause gets it chest high, looks over the middle, pumps, and he gets sacked. Looks like the ball is loose, and I think Marianna has recovered it. And they have. Looked like Krause wanted to go to the slot along the left side on the short side of the field. He pumped, held the ball right around his neck, took a nice lick from a defensive lineman from Marianna, lost the ball, and Marianna will take over at their own 36-yard line with 6:33 to play in the third quarter.
Oh, that's the offensive coordinator's worst nightmare there. He steps up into the pocket, holds onto the ball a little bit too long, takes a hit, and loses control and turns the ball over. But Baldwin's defense hopefully step on the field and get it back for the offense. That way they can get that corrected and answer with a score.
I think there's a water timeout on the field. I'd like to take this time to thank the official sponsor of Baldwin Athletics, Commercial Metals. You can see their logo below the Baldwin scoreboard now as they not only help Baldwin football, but all sports. We can't thank them enough for, excuse me, what they've been able to do for all of Baldwin athletics. 6:33 to play the third quarter. Baldwin trails 14-13. Marianna takes over after the Ethan Krause fumble.
First and 10 Bulldogs from 37.
From their own 37-yard line at the middle of the field, 1st and 10. Direct snap to Catino. He faces pressure, and he's hit in the backfield. Gross, the defensive end, and McCray, the two DNs, met at the quarterback, and looks like a 7-8 yard loss for Marianna.
That's a good way to start the drive defensively there, sacking the quarterback for a 7-yard loss as Marianna went to the pass, which is very rare of them to do, but they've kind of thrown that wrinkle in here a little more in this first playoff game of the FHSAA playoffs.
Under 6 minutes to play in the third quarter, Marianna leads by 1. On a 2nd and 18 from Marianna's own 30. Shotgun snap. He gives to McCall, number 8, runs into about the entire field as Baldwin loads the box again and gains 2 yards. Gets to the 32 on a 3rd and 14 coming up from the Marianna Bulldogs.
Baldwin defense setting up a wall there and allowing them to go absolutely nowhere, setting up a 3rd and long. So if Marianna wants a chance at a first down, they're going to have to attempt to throw the football here, as that front 5 of Baldwin is absolutely doing a great job giving penetration and getting after it here in the second half.
Coach Shields, I was talking to him this week, and he said we're pretty much a 3-offense scoring team, even if you look at a lot of the other games. Baldwin's gotten help from special teams and defense, and it looks like it's the case so far tonight. On this 3rd and long, Marianna rolls out right, flips it to the flat, caught at the 45. It's a first down to midfield, and he's tackled by Cortez Martinez at the 49 in Baldwin territory. A 3rd and 14. Marianna saw a soft zone, found the man, and it's a first down after the 18-yard pickup.
I think everybody in the stadium expected Marianna to throw, but for some reason the defensive backs were not ready for that scheme that came at them. It was a good throw, good catch by number 18, and pumping his legs for a little yak there to get a first down and move the chains.
Tucker Brock was on the receiving end for Marianna. 1st and 10 from the 49. Ball is near midfield. Catino rolls out left, faces pressure from Buggus, and it's incomplete as it falls to the shoe tops. The receiver slips Catino, number 11, in the flat to the left side. 2nd and 10. And, Marianna, I think the season they've had 200 yards passing. I think they've had about 150 tonight or close to it.
Yeah, the quarterback, number 12, Devin Catino, he's actually very mobile, moves well out of the pocket, right-handed quarterback. They're, sprinting out to his left. That's a hard open body throw. But he seems to be very good on his feet, throwing on the run. I'm not sure why they don't use him a little bit more and spreading this ball out instead of trying to run between the tackles as much as they do.
On a 2nd and 10, it's a give up the gun. He's popped by Barrington. McCall on the give, and he's tackled by 6 defenders, Yurdy, Sam Brooks, and Grossen on the tackle. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Quarterfinal of the FHSAA playoffs. Baldwin looks for his first playoff win in school history.
Check that, no game.
Baldwin trails 14-13.
The referee just spotted the ball, and that was an absolutely terrible spot from up here in the box. It was like he gave him an extra 2 yards when there was no push up front. Brings up a 3rd and 10.
3.5 minutes left in the third. 3rd and 10 from the 48-yard line. Marianna's ball. It's a sweep left side. No, it's a run of the gun. It's a trick play. And he's tackled from the 27. Boy, he fooled me. It was a Direct snap to, I think it was the wing, and the number 27, Jacob Wester. And the quarterback faked the speed option to the left side, and it was run right up the gut, fooled everybody.
Yeah, they had the split backfield, and the sniff, he actually just stepped back and closer to the center, and it was just a side snap to him. A little misdirection look in the backfield, and he's sneaking through the A-gap, running right down the middle of the field.
McQuaid comes in for Barrington in the interior defensive line. 2:50 play, third quarter. 1st and 10, Marianna at the 27. Catino rolls right, has two receivers downfield. Almost tackled, almost caught at the 15 as the receiver was running to the flats. So number 14, Brennan Faircloth. Incomplete, 2:40 left in third quarter, 2nd and 10 for Marianna.
That pass was incomplete. I don't know how there wasn't a flag on the play, as the right guard, number 53, is about 6 yards downfield, blocking as the ball goes whizzing by his shoulder to the receiver running an over route. Missed call there, but, we seem to have a good referee crew. And everybody doesn't – you don't see everything. Sometimes everybody sees a little bit more. Unfortunately, we didn't get a flag there, and brings up 2nd and 10.
It's a counter play right side of Catino, and he's tackled to the right hash by Malcolm Harvin at the 26-yard line.
Counter play number 11, Catino. Malcolm Harvin on the stop.
As the clock will stop with 2:26. As the referees come to a huddle at the 25, I think Baldwin called a timeout from Coach Shields, and it's 3rd and 10 for Marianna.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of penalties in this game, but after years of coaching football in 4 different states, this is definitely one of the best referee crews that I've seen in a long time. The referee crew that is calling it the way it's supposed to be. They're doing a phenomenal job letting the players play, calling the penalties when they see them.
2:26, third quarter. Baldwin trails 14-13 to Marianna. It's 3rd and 10 from the 25-yard line. Ball is at the middle of the field. Baldwin plays for its first playoff win in school history. The winner of this game will play at South Walton next Friday. Wing left, one receiver out right. It's a high snap. Catino gets it. He's at the 25 to the 20. Finds some room. He's tackled by Cortez Martinez at the 13 to 14-yard line. And it's a first down, a crucial give up from Baldwin's defense on a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that high snap actually gave him a little bit of delay that he needed to set up the blocking and get in a crease to run off tackle there. And Baldwin was able to make a touchdown-saving tackle with the ball inside the 15-yard line for a fresh set of downs for the Bulldogs.
1:50 play, third quarter. Marianna trying to make this an 8-point game with a touchdown and extra point. Marianna missed their first extra point as they lead Baldwin 14-13. Catino in the gun, McCall to his left, wing right. And whistle blows for what would be a false start. It was going to be a direct snap to McCall behind his right tackle on power play, and it is a false start, 1st and 15.
Good, yeah. You like to see your offense come out and fire on all cylinders. Unfortunately, Marianna had about 4 guys beat the center on the play. So the false start was seen. The false start was called. Ball is backed up, and it'll be 1st and 15.
So it's 1st and 15 from the 20-yard line. Marianna needs to get to the 5 to get a first down. As the clock ticks, 1:20 left before we head to the fourth quarter. No scores have yet to have been happened in this third quarter. Direct snap to McCall, follows his quarterback, and it's tackled by the defensive end, Presley Gross. Gross, who's only had 9 tackles coming into tonight, the senior, got in a lot of tackles tonight. Gain of 1, 2nd and 14.
You got a second long here. Play finally coming in from the Marianna sideline being brought in by a new player each play as Marianna breaks the huddle, gets in their single wing look here.
30 seconds left as the line switches. 2nd and 14, they overload the left side. McCall gets it, and it's a counter, and he's wrapped up by Yurdy, the nose tackle, on an excellent play as he comes back up flexing after he tackles him, and that should be the end of the third quarter as Baldwin trails 14-13.
Great stop there by the defense to stop at the end of the third quarter.
And Baldwin defenders hold 4 fingers up as we head to the fourth quarter. Marianna 14, Baldwin 13.
Protecting your investments and your family is essential when things go wrong. That's why you need home and auto insurance. BJ Ruiz here with Farm Bureau Insurance in Duval County, where we have been providing insurance policies for clients like you the last 60 years. We have competitive rates, offer bundle discounts. Please call BJ Ruiz for a free quote today with Farm Bureau Insurance, 904-655-4347. Real people, real service. Farm Bureau.
Easy, honest pricing, worth my drive. Hi, I'm Larry Burkins from Burkins Chevy in McClenny, and those aren't my words. Those are the words of our customers. We don't play games to sell a vehicle. We do business the right way. All of those incentives you hear other dealers advertising, well, you get those at every Chevy dealer. And if Chevy makes it, we have it or can get it. Come on. So make the easy drive to deal with Burkins Chevy. It's worth your time. Highway 90 in the heart of McClenny or BurkinsChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads. Come on.
Play here in the fourth quarter. Hold on.
3rd and 16 as we start the fourth quarter. Baldwin looks for its first playoff win in school history. Baldwin trails this one 14-13. No point scored rather in the third quarter. From the 22-yard line, Marianna overloads the right side. It's another run up the middle, or tried to. The ball was loose, and I think it was recovered by Marianna. The play that was a big play about 5 minutes ago, they went back to it as a fake speed option left, and it was pretty much a fumble-rooski play to the sniffer, but it didn't work that time. Ball fell to the turf, didn't get no yardage.
Yeah, he didn't get that snap cleanly as they tried a little deception. And fumbled it, kicked it back a little bit. They recovered, but now it brings up a 4th and long here.
4th and 15 for Marianna at the 23-yard line as we just start the fourth quarter. Catino, 3-step drop, once the end zone to the right side, and it's caught. Was he inbounds? Incomplete. Referee says he's out of bounds. Coverage by Donald Velvet. Turnover on downs from Marianna. And, boy, you talk about football being a game of inches. They were so close to getting that touchdown, but it's no bueno, and Baldwin takes over at their own 24-yard line.
Yeah, they went max protect, went to a 1-on-1 matchup. Quarterback threw a beautiful ball. Receiver went up and got it. But luckily for the Indians, he did not come down in bounds. Therefore, it is a turnover on downs. And the defense was able to find a way to get off the field and get the ball back for their offense to set up a drive to try to take a lead here in the fourth quarter.
11:07 left in the game. Baldwin trails 14-13 to Marianna. 1st and 10, Krause, empty backfield. Trips left with Miller and Buggus lined out right. No safety over top as the safety stands with the DBs right at the first down marker. Krause to the flat, incomplete to Buggus at the numbers at the 25-yard line on the right side. Buggus, momentum was pushing him toward the defense as the ball was thrown to the sideline. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, looks like the ball might have been thrown a hair behind him. Buggus' hands were about 2 feet apart as the ball went right between them. You kind of hear the ball graze his gloves. But, you try to get your quarterback in that point to midpoint the football, hit him out in front. But brings up 2nd and 10 after that incomplete pass.
Now Wildcat formation, DeBose with a wing right. A little bit of a delay between the snap and the offensive line. And the offensive line is caught off guard as DeBose gets back maybe to the line of scrimmage, possibly loses one. And it's now 3rd and 11 with 10:50 left in the game.
Yeah, they went Wildcat there. Looks like the snap happened quicker than the offensive line was anticipating. One of the receivers might have missed a block there. The guy came free before DeBose could even, have a chance to make a cut and make anything happen.
10:30 left in the game. 3rd and, I'll say, 11. Krause in the gun as he communicates the routes to his receivers. Trips right, 2 left. Ball's at Baldwin's own 22 on a 3rd and 11. Krause gets it from his knees. He wants it over the middle of the field to Jawan Malpress. It's bobbled. Excellent coverage at the 40-yard line. Incomplete from number 6, the defender, Nakeem Gaynor. Clock will stop with 10:09 to play in the game, and Baldwin will be forced to punt on the 4th down from their 20-yard line.
Yeah, that was a risky throw by the quarterback, Ethan Krause there. Great coverage by Marianna. Didn't really look like much of a read. Looked like he had his man that he was locked in on throwing. They ran switch routes on the outside and have your man over the middle. But he was covered pretty good, and that pass fell incomplete.
4th and 11, Pardo will come on to punt from Baldwin's 20-yard line. The return man stands for midfield as the ball is nearly blocked. It's a low punt as it rolls just past midfield. And Marianna will take over at their own 40-yard line as Baldwin trails 14-13 with a chance to win their first playoff game in school history. Our halftime score was 14-13, and no score yet has happened so far the second half. And Marianna's ran one trick play with pretty much like a fumblerooski to their wing, but pretty status quo from the two teams. Nothing changed so far to start the second half.
No, Marianna's going, power lead. They're going sweep. They're running their counter. And when they get into a throw-in situation, they try to, last drive, they started out with the first play, on a pass play, trying to break up tendencies and catch Baldwin on their heels. But Baldwin's defense has done a great job.
Marianna takes over from their own 40 at the right hash. 1st and 10 with 10 minutes to play in the game. And it's a handoff to McCall behind his left tackle as 6 Baldwin defenders, Malcolm Harvin, Barrington, and a few others, tackle him down at the left hash at the 42-yard line, gain of 2. Let's make it 3, rather, for McCall. Marianna has a 2nd and 7 with 9.5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, Marianna went into a pistol formation with the running back directly behind the quarterback and a fullback offset to the left of the quarterback and just ran a little outside zone lead. Looked like Baldwin got in there and stripped the football, but it may have been after his knee was down. Gain of 2, bringing up 2nd down here for the Bulldogs.
Clock ticks and it continues to run. 9:10 left in the game. 2nd and 8. McCall gets the direct snap. Runs behind his right tackle and nothing doing. Gets another 2-3 yards. And it's exactly panhandle football, power football. And it's a big 3rd and 5 coming up for Marianna. Just under 9 minutes left in the game. Marianna leads this one 14-13 over Baldwin as McQuaid comes in for Barrington.
Yeah, number 8 there, Jaden McCall, tried to run up the middle and got absolutely stuffed, nowhere to run. Brings up a 3rd and long 5, 3rd and 6 for the Marianna Bulldogs. Hopefully, Baldwin Indians defense can be disciplined here and get another stop and get off the field.
Sean Baldwin comes in for Octavius Barnes at the linebacker position. 3rd and 5 from Marianna's own 45. Katina rolls out right. Almost gets sacked, gets it off, and it's intercepted by Sam Brooks at the 45, down the left sideline, and he finds the end zone. Sam Brooks gets the pick 6, and Baldwin leads this one 19-14 over Marianna.
What looked like was going to be a sack there. The quarterback was able to break, got hit by another defender as he delivered that ball. And number 15, Sam Brooks, broke on the football in front of the receiver and took it to the house. To give Baldwin its first lead of the game, 19-14. Looks like the coaches are looking frantically for a football or a block for the extra point. I'm not really sure what's going on. Looks like a little bit of chaos out there.
So they're going to bring on the offense for the 2-point conversion, trying to make this a 7-point game as they're still missing one person. They're missing a skill player. DeBose runs on the field. After the pick 6 from Sam Brooks. And Coach Shields isn't happy as he rips off his headset with his left hand. And we'll have to call a timeout on a conversion after the Sam Brooks pick 6 to make it 19-14. And Baldwin burns their first timeout. But, a team that's been led by their defense all year long, and that would be pretty special if Baldwin's able to win this game and hang on to the score, because both offenses, it's taken them a while if they do score. And with 8 minutes left in the game, Marianna gets the ball back. It's almost pretty a guarantee that Marianna is going to take off about 4 or 5 minutes when they get the ball back.
Oh, absolutely. And right there, we're talking about Baldwin coming up big on third down and needing to make a play to find a way to get off the field. Not only do they find a way to get off the field, they found a way to put points on the board as the offense is getting ready to go for 2 here. They did a phenomenal job stopping them, but, Marianna is going to get the ball and try to grind it out, run that clock down, and try to score and lead Baldwin in no time.
2-point conversion. Krause in the gun. DeBose left. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Krause with a chest-high snap. Wants to slant to Buggus. It's caught in the end zone. And Eric Buggus hauls in the 2-point conversion, and Baldwin lead is now 21-14 over Marianna. Guys, if you're looking to get your gutters installed, make sure you go to Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. They're licensed and insured, based out of Briceville, Florida. Josh Schwartz will install your gutters. You can see it right there on the screen. Contact him today at 904-322-2063. So the only point so far in the second half is a Sam Brooks touchdown, and a Eric Buggus 2-point conversion has made this 21-14 as Baldwin looks for its first playoff win in school history. As Aiden O'Neill booted left to right, coming up from our Burkins Chevrolet broadcast booth.
That was a good job there. Good throw and good catch from Ethan Krause. It looks like the defense was expecting another fade ball and stuck his foot in the ground and broke on the slant. Once again, using that big body on the smaller defender.
O'Neill boots it away. 8 minutes left in the game, and there's a penalty. As a couple of Baldwin players are a little too early across the 40-yard line, as you have to wait until the ball is kicked.
Offsides on Marianna.
I take it back.
One guy didn't jump this way.
He came over the 50.
So it is offsides, but it's on Marianna.
Preliminary indication is offsides on the Marianna.
As the ball will be moved up 5 yards, as Coach Shields waves his right arm to move it up.
That's something very rare that you see on a kickoff. Usually it's the kickoff team that's offsides, not the kickoff return team, because they can't cross the 50 until after that ball has left the tee. But it looks like number 13, their middleman on that front line, came across in attack mode before the ball was kicked, and moved the ball up 5 yards, and will be set for a re-kick by Aiden O'Neill.
8:04 left in the game. Baldwin leads 7. Ball's moved up to the 45 of Baldwin after the offsides on Marianna return team. He boots it away, gets it inside the 10. It's caught by Catino. Runs through the middle of the field, finds some room. 2 penalties are thrown, both from the back judge, as Coach Shields waves his right arm to move him back as he's tackled at the 25-yard line. And, the penalties now are going in favor of Marianna.
Yeah, it was a great booming kick there by O'Neill. That Baldwin kickoff team flying downfield and get a little block in the back on Marianna and back them up here and look for that Indian defense to come out and play another solid set of downs. Get the football back and look to secure this victory here. We still got a lot of football to play, though, folks. A lot of football to play.
So a block in the back on Marianna. Puts the ball at Marianna's own 8-yard line, spotted out in the middle of the field. And Baldwin's stacked the box the whole game, as Marianna had 2,000 rushing yards coming into tonight, only 200 passing, although they've been pretty successful throwing the ball tonight. As there's 8 minutes left in the game, and Marianna will need a 92-yard drive to tie this thing back up, trailing 21-14. Sweep left side. McCall gets around the edge, gets inside, and he's tackled by the linebacker at the 18-yard line, Octavius Barnes. I thought I saw a hold on the from the tackle on the outside, but no flag is thrown, and it's a 8-yard pickup, 2nd and 2.
Yeah, it looked like number 42 defensive end, Preston Gross, lost contain there and dove down inside instead of keeping his outside arm free and pressing everything back inside and let your defense help. So McCall was able to get outside there on that run and gain a hard-fought 9 yards.
7:20 left in the game. 2nd and 2 for Marianna at the left hash at Marianna's own 18. McCall and Catino in the gun. Catino, quarterback keeper up the gut, is able to get maybe a yard as he ran into an offensive lineman that was bear crawling, and the defensive line was a scrum right there. Gets a yard, 3rd and a long 1. 7 minutes to play in the game. Baldwin leads 21-14 for its first playoff win in school history.
Marianna's about to go to a little more smash mouth inside the tackle box right here as they finally bring the play in from the sideline with a 3rd and short here. They'll have to convert, still have a long 82 yards to drive.
6.5 minutes left in the game. 3rd and 1, Marianna ball at their own 19. The entire offensive line shifts. They overload the left side. Quarterback's under center. It's a quarterback sneak, and he moves the pile past the yard, still grows. Gets to the 26-yard line, so a nice push from his offensive line, pushes it about 6-7 yards as the clock will stop with 6:14 in the game. And looks like a player is hurt from Marianna on the field as he now gets up. But the players huddle around. I think there might be a water timeout on the field, but a nice play from Marianna offense on a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, the quarterback definitely got up a little bit slow there. On the quarterback sneak, the sniffer got right behind him, and as soon as number 12 took the snap, the sniffer wrapped his arms around him, belly to back, and gave him that push and kept running with him. Essentially, it was the one that brought him down and tripped him up, or he might have been still going after he broke through that on that push.
So the water timeout on the field brought to you by Commercial Metals, the official sponsor of Baldwin Athletics. Baldwin 21, Marianna 14, quarterfinal of the FHSAA playoffs. It's 1st and 10 after the quarterback sneak from Marianna. A couple of scores around Jacksonville. Rains takes the lead over Terry Parker in the 4th quarter, 16-10. As Gadsden County leads Jackson at half, 13-7. And I'm looking for a Baker County score as they lead Ed White 14-0, and that's in the 2nd quarter. Here at Baldwin, 6 minutes left in the game. Marianna trying to tie this thing back up at 21 as they trail 21-14. 1st and 10 from their 27. Sweep right side with McCall. Gets around the edge, finds some room, gets 8 yards. He's tackled, I think, by Cortez Martinez and a linebacker. And on the far side from our press box. 5.5 minutes left in the game. Clock continues to run down, and time is on Baldwin's side.
Yeah, number 8, Jaden McCall, has been the most yards he's been able to get on 2 of these past recent carries, being able to get outside and use his speed to get around the edge as we're at 5:15 and rolling here in the 4th quarter. So if Baldwin can find a way to get a stop here, they might be able to run the clock out.
Catino in the gun with a back to his left, and it looks like a false start. their wide receiver, Brennan Faircloth, looked like he was running a post as he had to stop at the middle of the field. So, it looked like an easy 2nd and 2 will make it 2nd and 7. That, I'm sure you can speak to, give you headaches if you're a coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Stuff like that will drive you insane when you're 2nd and short. And they went unconventional because usually on 2nd and short, they're trying to run, power or something leading inside. Instead, they went to throw the football, and receiver jumped the gun there and backed them up 5 yards. Now they're in a 2nd and 7 situation.
4:50 to play in the game. Baldwin's first playoff game in school history on the line as they lead 21-14 over Marianna. 2nd and 7 from Marianna's own 30. It's a bad snap. It continues to roll to the own 15. Ball still loose. 3 black jerseys are on it and 1 white jersey. Did Baldwin come out with it? The white hat waves his hands to stop the clock. Baldwin says they have it, and it's Baldwin ball. So I think a penalty is on the field where the ball was recovered, but Baldwin takes over at around the 10-yard line. I'm not sure what the penalties are, but Baldwin has recovered the fumble. They have the ball with 4:30 left in the game with a 7-point lead. Wow, talk about a huge break.
Yeah, there was a high snap. Number 18 was back to take the snap at quarterback, which he's either been an offset running back but not taking a direct snap, and ball hit him in his hands, went over his head, and he ran, kicked it back again, tried to get on it. He got tackled, and Baldwin was able to recover it. But I think, the Indians getting a little excited down there, got them unsportsmanlike conduct, backed the ball up, but the Indians have the ball, and they control their own destiny here, starting the drive inside their own 25 with 4:33 left here in the fourth quarter as they try to secure their first win in the playoffs in Baldwin history.
Baldwin 21, Marianna 14. 1st and 10 for Baldwin after the penalty. I guess it was a 10-yard penalty as they took over at the 25-yard line in Marianna territory after the bad snap. Personnel on the field is Malpress, Miller, King, and DW at wide receiver. The whistle blows as Krause comes from the Baldwin sideline to his huddle at the middle of the field. Ball near the left hash. They break the huddle. Miller, Malpress lined out right. King and DW left. 1st and 10 at the 25. DeBose in the backfield to the left of Krause in the gun. Krause and the shotgun gets a snap, handed to DeBose, and he's tackled immediately. Nothing doing. The defensive end came free. Just under 4.5 minutes left in the game. Loss of 2.
Yeah, every time they've ran the inside zone, I'm not really sure if he's reading it or just giving it. Because if Krause was to pull that one time, there is nobody outside to be able to be responsible for him and play assignment football. And he would probably be able to walk to a first down.
4 minutes left in the game. Baldwin trying to hold on for their very first playoff win in school history. A school that opened up in 1919 is looking to get its first playoff win in 2021. Second and 12. Ball's on the left hash. At the 27-yard line, and the whistle blows. Timeout Baldwin as they'll reassess with 3:37 left in the game. So, former offensive coordinator, Coach Ruiz. I'm not a genius here, but you just try to bleed the clock here and just see if you can get close to a first down here with 3:37 left in the game on a 2nd and 12, leading by 7.
Yeah, absolutely. You're playing against a team that doesn't really throw the ball well. You have a 7-point lead. You're inside your own territory with 3.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. If you look at the analytics, you run the football. You keep the clock running. You try to get a fresh set of downs and force the opposing team to use their timeouts. If you're able to do that, you keep the clock running, you get a first down, they burn a couple timeouts, then you can just sit there and you can nil it, based off of your chart, how many you're up by, how many timeouts are remaining. always had that stuff sitting on my hip. But unfortunately for me, last playoff game, we were in a panic mode and came up short on the 1 yard line.
Back on the field, 2nd and 12, 3:37 left to play after the Baldwin timeout. Baldwin ball at the 27-yard line. DeBose, quarterback keeper, right side, cuts it up the right hash and gets near the original line of scrimmage. Clock runs, 3:25 to play, and it'll be 3rd and 11 from the 25-yard line.
Yeah, with that first play, I mean, they were able somehow to burn almost a minute after the clock started to the clock stopping, and went a little wildcat, try to run DeBose there and keep the ball inside the line so you don't want to run out of bounds, stop the clock. You don't want to throw an incomplete pass and stop the clock. Hand the football off again, try to get what you can get, and then if you get into a 4th down situation, you can take a shot at the end zone, and then Marianna would have to drive 75 yards.
2:45 left in the game. 3rd and 11, DeBose in the gun, gets the quarterback snap. Around the right side, finds some room at the 25, and he is tackled inbounds just barely in front of Baldwin's sideline. Referee runs his arm to run the clock, as now it stops with 2:44 to play in the game and a timeout, I believe, from Marianna. So a 4th and 12. Baldwin leads 21-14.
Yeah, now Marianna stopped the clock. You're in a 4th and 12 situation here. So if you run the football and you get stopped, the clock's going to stop immediately, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. So here you got to take a shot to at least get the 1st down. You don't need a touchdown, but you can get a 1st down and keep the clock running. And if you do score a touchdown, you gave yourself a little bit of insurance and securing that lead.
So Baldwin comes out of the timeout with the ball at the right hash of the 25 on a 4th and 12. 2:34 to play in the game. Baldwin trying to hold on to this 21-14 lead for its first playoff win in school history. King, Grant, and Buggus lined out left. Miller, Malpress out right. DeBose is your tailback. Krause in the gun, gets a chest-high snap. Looks at the slot, has a man, and it's intercepted at the 10-yard line. Brings it down the left sideline to the 30. He's tackled from behind from Jahad Miller. Right around the 40-yard line, the referee will spot it at the 43-yard line. And he wanted Jahad Miller down that right seam and underthrew him just a bit. And now Marianna will have the ball with 2:22 left in the game, down 7, and it's do or die time. They have to go about 60 yards to tie this game up.
Yeah, there's going to be a holding after the interception, so Marianna is going to have the ball. Costly penalty on Marianna. You had a couple players being held, one of them being the quarterback after the interception. So now the Baldwin defense, which they've leaned on all year long, is taking the field again and looking to get that ball back and secure that first playoff victory for Baldwin and for head coach Robert Shields.
2:22 left in the game. The penalty would have made Marianna have the ball at their own 42. Backs them up all the way to their own 18 at the left hash. 4 receivers set the first time tonight for Marianna. Gattino in the gun. Motion man left to right. Gattino rolls out right, faces pressure from Harvin, thrown in the flat. It's caught, tackled immediately as he's tackled inbounds. 4-yard pickup, number 6, Nakeem Gaynor on the catch. 2 minutes left in the game. Crucial play to tackle him inbounds.
Yeah, this is where Marianna gets uncomfortable having to throw the football and do clock management at the same time.
2nd and 5 from Marianna's 25. Roll out right. Derek Jeter throwed in the flat. Incomplete at the 35-yard line. Clock stops. 1:53 to play in the game on a 3rd and 5.
I love that Derek Jeter reference that you just made like there. It did look like Derek Jeter making a play from a shortstop, making that throw across the field. Unfortunately for Marianna, it was out of bounds. Unfortunately for Baldwin, it was incomplete, bringing up 3rd down.
Game on the line. Baldwin's first playoff win on the line. 3rd and 4 at Marianna's own 25. Marianna trails 21-14. Trips left. Catino in the gun. It's a bubble. Left side, incomplete as he's popped by Cortez Martinez. And it's now down to a 4th down with 1:48 to play in the game.
I can't believe that they just tried to throw that bubble right there. It looked like a false start on the running back, but he threw that a little bit ahead of him. Ball went skipping out of bounds, so it brings up a 4th down. So this is a make or break for the Marianna Bulldogs.
1:48 to play in the game. Defense hopping around to fire this crowd up. 4th and 4, game on the line. Trips left for Marianna at their own 25. Catino wants it, and it is incomplete. And Baldwin will hang on to win their first playoff game in school history if they're able to run this clock out with 1:43 to play in the game.
Yeah, the quarterback made a fastball of a throw, but got absolutely smacked on the play to turn the ball over. So Baldwin should line up here in victory formation, take a couple of knees, take the dub to the house, and write history. You ain't got to worry about talking about the first win in school playoff history anymore. I've been in the playoffs here as a player. I've been in playoffs here as a coach, but commentating it and watching it and seeing these guys get a dub, and for head coach Rob Shields and his staff, this is absolutely freaking amazing.
1:43 to play in the game. Baldwin leads by 7 after the turnover on downs from Marianna. Malpress is in the gun. He's going to keep it right side. He's going to turn up the middle of the field, and he's going to get about 5 yards. As the clock will stop, Marianna wants a timeout. 1:36 left in the game. I believe Marianna has one more timeout, as Baldwin will have a 2nd and 6. And I mean, you're talking about a staff, Coach Baldwin, that's been at Baldwin since 2016. Coach Loss, Coach Gus Scott, and Coach Boogie, their first year on staff. But Coach Rob Shields has been on staff since 2015 as a D coordinator, and Coach Cruz has been a part of the staff since 2016. The players, Ethan Krause and McQuaid, who've been 4-year stars. Coach Schaefer has been in the part of the program for quite a long time. This has been long awaited, but Baldwin still has to run this clock out on the 2nd and 4 at the 20-yard line with 1:36 to play. On the 2nd and 6, Malpress gets it, direct snap, lowers his shoulders, barrels his way forward, and it's a 3rd and 1 and another Marianna timeout. As a first down would put this game away. 91 seconds left from Baldwin's first playoff win in school history.
Yeah, Marianna just burned their last timeout right there. So as long as Baldwin can get this first down, it is over with. I appreciate my former player Dylan Denmark bringing me here on the broadcast to call this playoff game. It's always a joy to come back home for a place that I spent a lot of time as a kid, as a player, and as a coach. Happy for these players, happy for this coaching staff, happy for the fans and for the former coaches that put a lot of stuff in, with former head coach Steve Shields, Doyle Hammock, Carl West, just to name a few.
3rd and 3, a first down wins it for Baldwin with 1:31 left in the game. Marianna, I believe, has no more timeouts. Baldwin leads 21-14. Malpress, direct snap, power, right side, bursts through the hole and finds the end zone, and that puts the nail in the coffin. Baldwin has opened it up. 27-14.
Let's go.
And it seems like Baldwin has finally done it. As we get bombarded from Coach Cruz and Coach Donnie Williams. Wow. Man, you talk about getting the monkey off your back. I mean, time and time again, Baldwin goes to the Villages, comes up short. As the extra point's good from Aiden O'Neill. Taylor County at home. That should have been a win. Came up short. Episcopal, you beat them in the regular season, come up short. Baldwin has its most talented team in school history probably last year. And you get the random draw with Trinity Christian. You come up short 20-3. But it's been well overdue, and wow, it's finally happened as Baldwin leads 28-14 with 1:25 to play in the game.
The coaching profession sometimes can be tough, and talking to Coach Rob Shields before the game, man, he said that he thoroughly enjoys being around every one of his players. That they're selfless. They play for each other. They give everything that they have. May not be as talented as last year's team, but he thoroughly enjoys being around these guys every day, and it's showing as these guys have absolutely no quit in them whatsoever.
So the kickoff team is back on the field. Baldwin leads this one 28-14 after the DeJuan Malpress touchdown on a 4th down. O'Neill booted left to right from our Burkins Chevrolet broadcast booth. And they say hi. Pooch kick that bounces at the 21-yard line, picked up by McCall. Tackled by Aiden Skidmore and company just above the painted numbers at the 22-yard line. 1:17 to play in the game. Baldwin leads 28-14, their biggest lead of the night. And we're just moments away from finally making this game official.
Yeah, so as you get ready to make your travel plans for next week's playoff game, make sure that your auto insurance is secure. If you would like a free quote, give me a call with Farm Bureau Insurance. I will be glad to do that for you, 904-655-4347. I'm glad that I can be a sponsor for Baldwin Athletics, for Dylan Denmark and his podcast, as we get ready to watch the Baldwin Indians walk away with the win.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Coach Shields this happy, man. He just gave a huge bear hug to Coach Cruz. All of these players, Hagan McQuaid, who's been a 4-year starter, walking around the sideline as it's a 1st and 10, and Marianna overthrows, was almost intercepted by Cortez Martinez at the 35-yard line. Just, you hear the story over and over again about, it took so long to break that 4-minute mile. And then once it finally got broken, it kept being broken because it was just a mental hurdle. And for Baldwin tonight, they finally get the monkey off their back, and hopefully this is they break the dam and they flow through, and they travel to South Walton next week in 4A. Hopefully they'll only be in 4A this year. They'll be reclassified next year. It'll be to be determined. But as Marianna is the 2nd and 10 with 1:11 in the game, and a D lineman for Baldwin jumps off sides. But hopefully this is one small success, and hopefully many more in the future. As long awaited, Coach.
Yeah, I can't wait myself to get out on the field and give Coach Rob Shields a big bear hug, man. We spent several years on the staff together, sharing an office together during the day, as teachers, and basically playing devil's advocate to each other offensively and defensively, trying to help each other, make each other better coaches. And he's done a phenomenal job keeping this thing the way it is and finding a way to get that dub.
1:11 left in the game. 2nd and 5 for Marianna, trailing 14. Catino on a 3-step drop. Heaves it downfield to the right side. It's incomplete in a double coverage. It's a penalty thrown at the 40-yard line. It's going to be pass interference. Looks like it was Trent Edwards and Donald Velvet on the coverage. As there's a minute left in the game, Baldwin leads 28-14. And this is, there's a couple of seniors. Mostly the seniors are at the wideout spot, but Hagan McQuaid, a 4-year starter. Ethan Krause, a guy you coached way back when. Something you and Coach Shields talked about. He played most of tonight, but, what a better guy who to get that first playoff win waited patiently for so long, didn't get all the snaps even on his senior year. Humble, worked his tail off, first guy in the building, last one to leave, and he'll be part of history winning this game tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that I was able to mold him with a young mind as a quarterback, sitting behind, Gavin Screws, and then having to sit behind Bryce, and him being able to learn and take everything in. He made the most of his reps when he got in there. You actively see him on social media trying to be that leader, and on the sideline being an encourager, trying not to get down if he does something wrong. But man, I tell you what, I'm definitely happy for that kid. Go in there and manage the game, spread the ball around, do what the coaches have coached him to do. And man, you're happy to see stuff like for this young man.
So there's a false start on Marianna. It's 1st and 15 for the ones that still care about the game at their own 37-yard line. Marianna trails 28-14. Gattino in the gun with 3 receivers. It's a pop pass, and it's going to be a try to reverse. Eric Buggist, as he wraps them up, and Yurdy and others wrap him up and bring him down. Cortez Martinez in on the tackle. 50 seconds left in the game. After Baldwin had its first undefeated season last year for the first time since the early 1960s, and finishing a 6-3 record, 9 games in 9 weeks. And I was talking with Coach Screws the other day, this team is battling through so much, and having the school shut down with COVID in the first week and playing 9 games in 9 weeks and not having a lot of depth, which is not usually the case for a 4A team. It's ironic that this is the team that gets you the first playoff win, a team that is full of sophomores and has nothing but a bright future ahead, as there's 10 seconds left on the 2nd and long from Marianna. Gattino rolls out left, and there's a pre-snap penalty. It's a delay of game with 5 seconds left.
There's one word you got to spell out, and it's HISTORY. History has been said in here, but I know Coach Rob Shields, his staff, and these players aren't focused on this. They were focused on getting the win tonight, and then they're going to enjoy it for 24 hours, and then their focus is going to go to South Walton and get ready to go on the road for round 2 of the playoffs, as the Baldwin Indians will go on the road to South Walton next Friday night.
2nd and long for Marianna. Likely the last play of the game with 5 seconds left. Quarterback keeper right side. McCall barrels the shoulders. The buzzer sounds. 000 hit the clock. And Baldwin finally has done it. Win number 1 in the playoffs for their football team in school history. Can't thank Coach Ruiz enough for calling the game with me tonight, as Baldwin comes out on top 28-14 over Marianna. Coach, any final thoughts before we close this broadcast and before we buzz out to the field?
Yeah, man, you love to see a team that had a lot of self-inflicted penalties in the first half and early in the third quarter. Fight, and they found a way and they clawed back. Defense played phenomenal, getting the stops that needed. They had a pick 6. The offense scoring, getting the 2-point conversions, and being able to secure that victory. Man, I'm happy for these young men, this coaching staff, this town, and this school in particular, considering that I grew up 2 blocks from here my entire life. So it's exciting to see. And I hope these guys have a lot of success preparing for next week. They recover from injuries, and they're able to prepare mentally and stay focused as they get ready for round 2 of state playoffs, the FHSAA.
Before we sign off, I'd like to thank Coach Graham, the athletic director, and Mr. Townsend, the principal, for giving me the chance to broadcast all these games, as Baldwin goes to South Walton next week in the 2nd round of the playoffs. Baldwin comes out on top 28-14 for their first playoff win in school history. I'd like to thank Coach Ruiz for calling the game with me tonight. For me, Dylan Denmark, signing off on a very special first playoff win in school history. Baldwin 28, Marianna 14.